my brake lights.
Ain't turning back. Now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word from it. Put a couple bands on it. And I don't plan on letting people turn me. No. You can say what you want. I'ma keep pressing on. I can't go about that daylight. I'm feeling green, right? Talking to my past life. Focus on my brake lights.
Konnichiwa, hello, hola, ¿cómo están? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you good?
Yes.
How do you say hello in Tagalog?
¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo está? It was just like Spanish. That's good. How y'all doing, everybody?
Hello.
Listen, for this next hour, we are going to invade your screen. Stay glued, stay stuck, because we're going to be talking about a lot of good stuff. She's laughing at me already. I don't know why.
You want to have fun already in the
Stay
show.
stuck and glued to your screen. Now, y'all know whenever I'm hyped like this, what I had?
Coffee.
And it hit good. So make sure that, y'all join us as well. Make your coffee and whatnot. But listen, those of you who are like, who are these ladies? Why are they so hyped and excited? Well, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Nori.
I'm Fransisca. And I'm Mangione.
And you are tuned into Breaking the Silence. Today, we are definitely going to break the silence on so many different things. Our first topic that we're going to be talking about today is about our wonderful adults going back to school.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness. The great things about it, the challenges on it as well, but don't let that discourage you, right? We're going to talk more about that later. And we're also going to be talking about our beautiful women who have been representing us when it comes to film and television. This is nice. This is empowering. This is what we talk about, women empowerment, all right? And we're also going to be getting real with Fransisca. We're going to be talking about, no, I'm not going to tell you what Fransisca's going to be talking about. You're definitely going to have to stay tuned in for that, okay? So don't go. Actually, you know what? We're going to give y'all a couple of seconds so you can get your coffee, you can get your tea, you can get your snacks, you can get your popcorn, whatever it is you want to get, go get it, because after this break, we are definitely going to be back, all right? All right now.
The show isn't over yet. Don't change the channel. We will be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Every 2 seconds, a hospital patient needs a life-saving blood transfusion. Every 2 seconds, there's an urgent need for blood donation. Every second matters. In an emergency, doctors may face impossible choices. Who gets blood and who must wait? Will you roll up a sleeve and give? Because of you, life doesn't stop. Donate blood. Make your appointment today at Vitalant.org.
Breaking the silence. Your story matters. Your voice deserves to be heard. Join the conversation.
And we are back, but before we get into our topic, our question of the day, we have that for you. Let us pull it up. There it goes. How do you handle tight deadlines? Listen, if you got any tips, any advice, make sure you send it in and you help us out. We do have our QR code that you can be able to scan. There it is. That's our QR code. You can scan it. It's going to take you straight into our page, and you can be able to drop your comments there. How do you handle tight deadlines? Because, I mean, listen, deadlines, especially tight deadlines, we all go through it. We all experience it.
Yep.
Some of us don't do good at it. Some of us struggle. So we want to hear from you guys. And we're going to share ours as well, if time permits, later on in the show. But let us get into our topic. So we are talking about adults going back to school. Going back to school as an adult. It can definitely be challenging, but something that I always say is, listen, there's always room for growth whenever you want to further your education, and do something extra for you to be able to move up. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, as you said, it can be really intimidating, especially imagine you're going to school with a bunch of, this could be my kid, right?
Yeah.
But then it takes really a lot of courage, a lot of boldness to really, if you wanted to advance your career or even for personal growth, as you've mentioned, because you can explore a lot of more options once you, educate yourself, make yourself aware for more things that maybe your passion, but now you wanted to really make it official.
Right.
So you go back to school, and again, it can be a very daunting task, but for those who are actually going to school, applause to you, hats off to you, because you are doing a great job and inspiring other people as well.
Oh yes.
And that is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be exploring all the rewards and challenges that come with higher education, especially in your older adulthood. Being able to go back into school. It's not always easy to enter those classrooms again. Have to study again to further your education. It's not always as easy as it once was when we were first in school, but there's so many rewards that come with going back to school.
So many rewards, so many good things that can come out of it. Again, it is a bit more challenging because now you have more responsibilities. You're probably married, you have your spouse, you have your children, you have other, things that you have going on. So going back to school can definitely be, challenging. But, higher education can lead to career advancement, increased earning potential, and new career opportunities. And that's something I think that a lot of people, they're always looking for, new opportunities for growth, whether it can help in more financial income or to explore something that's really deep down inside embedded in you and you want to give it a try. You want to try something different than just the regular norm that everyone else does. I mean, there's definitely career advancements where you can be able to move up and do much more. So that's one of the good things about it.
Personal growth.
Yes.
Personal growth is so important because nowadays I think that especially the generation that went to school a few years back, right? So much has changed in their field. So much has changed with technology. Whether or not you want to go back to school to further your education, to be able to get more money, or just to have more knowledge. It's really, really important for personal growth because then it helps us to feel more confident when we're in the workplace or whether or not we are at home trying to help, like learning computer skills. Personal growth, you feel like you are more confident at what you're doing because you have those skills in your back pocket. So that is another plus for going back to school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and actually in the third quarter of 2024, the median weekly earnings for full-time workers, note this, with a high school diploma was $946. However, while the median weekly earnings for those with a bachelor's degree was $1,500. So more or less you see like, $500 in difference if you have like your degree. Again, for those, this is not diminishing those who did not, graduate or didn't have a degree. You can still do as this people that are, even though they have families now, they have children, they have kids, they even have a job. Sometimes they take evening classes. Sometimes they take it like, as a side part of their lives. It's not something full time because again, as Nori was saying, full-time responsibilities that they may have, but still they're taking that extra time to do more for more skills, personal growth and income potential as well.
You just said something and Fransisca said something that just, made me think about something right now. Not only to educate yourself, but to stay on top of the game as well. Because, once we get older, we tend to forget a lot of things. We're not as updated, with technology. We're not as updated with whatever's in, whatever's new, how things work nowadays. And I find that a lot of people are going back to school, are educating themselves to also stay and remain in the know when it comes to their children as well, to help their children also so they can see and also know the challenges that their children face in order to be able to help them as well. So I see that a lot of people have done that as well.
And let's face it, you're talking about helping your children in school. How many times do children come to their parents and say, Mom, Dad, I need you to help me with this math problem. I need you to help me with this science project. And you're like, what is this? I don't even know what this is.
This did not exist
this
before.
This is not the math that
it's
we
not
had.
from my time.
And then you're like, oh my God, I can't even help my child with this elementary school math.
It
So
is true.
that's another thing. It's like you said, to be able to have that kind of education in your pocket, to be able to help your kids. But I think one of the biggest problems, challenges that a lot of people face is, of course, time, right? Like, how am I going to be able to have time for my family, for work, and for school? But a bigger challenge for everybody, I believe, is the financial strain that it puts on the family, especially if you are a single parent taking care of your household, you're the sole provider, and then you go to look at school and you're like, oh, this is just too expensive, this is not possible. But you also have to think about the benefits. You might spend now a lot for school, but imagine what you'll get back in return when you have that skill set now in your pocket, and to be able to apply it in your business, in your job, wherever you're working, or even get a better career because of this knowledge. And there's so many ways and tools that you can apply for grants. You can apply for help, especially if you were a single parent going back to school, right?
And another challenge is self-doubt.
Yes.
You know, because hey, you're going back to school, you have life experience, yes, but your mind is not as fresh as you were in your 20s or when you were in your teens. Now you're going back to school in your 40s or maybe sometimes 50s. So, our brains get older and older, and plus you have a lot of responsibilities. So sometimes focusing in school in that subject, in that task, is a lot more it's a lot harder than actually when you were younger. So now you have to focus on this homework, but then you have to take care of your child. You have to solve adult problems, as you can say that. So, you get a little bit intimidated, you're a little bit slower than your other colleagues or your other classmates. And maybe some of them, they don't even give you a hard task because, okay, let's be considerate, she's a little older, or you may find that, you see those differences in school. So don't get intimidated. I know it's not an easy task, right? It's not something that, okay, let me just go there and study, because they will, how teenagers nowadays, how college students, they have eyes, and then they look, and then they say stuff. So sometimes adults can have a little bit of let me not even, work and then do it.
But don't let the self-doubt, don't let the financial aspect of it, intimidate you. Definitely go for it. You can look for financial aid if, finances is an issue. You can look into financial aid. That way you can be able to get that help that you need, so you can further your education, so you can be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. There's so many different ways, as Fransisca has said, that you can, get your foot in that door for those of you who want to go back to school. There will be challenges. Yes, there will be challenges. But when there's always challenges. Everywhere you go, there's always challenges. But you who say, you know what, I want to get back into school, I want to grow, I want to excel, I want to expand in this, that, whatever it is, go for it. If you need to look into financial aid, definitely go for it as well, because it is going to help.
Yes, and when you are set on something, when you say, no, I am going to go to school, I'm going to further my education, you make a way. You make a way. So if it is, I want to buy a new pair of shoes, whatever the case, this is just an example. But if you say you want to go buy a new pair of shoes or a new car, you figure out a way to be able to afford that car. You figure out how you're going to be able to get to the lot, to drive the car, to look for the car. And in the same way, when you want to go to school, you want to further your education, you find a way. You find people to pick up your kids from school. You find a way to be able to get the money. You find a way to be able to make the time. So it's also, you have to be honest with yourself. Is this something that you truly want? Because there's going to be a lot of sacrifice that comes with that.
Ooh, it's mail time.
Okay.
Mail
Goodness, it is mail time.
All right.
Ooh, goodness gracious.
Nora, you always get the mail, right? Okay.
Yes, it is. It is mail time, y'all. So, okay, no problem. Let us get into this mail. Can we get it, please? All right.
Where is it going to come from?
Mail.
Okay, there
Thank
it is.
you so much. All right. Here is the mail. Mail. Y'all ready to know what it have inside?
What do we have for today? It's been a while.
All right.
I know.
Let's see what it says. Let's see who's written us today. All right, so, we have mail today from Tammy Edwards, and she says the following: greetings. Happy New Year to my favorite show. Aw, Happy New Year to you too.
Favorite viewer.
Breaking the silence. Just want to say I love the new set. Ooh, I love the new set, and y'all are bringing great energy. Tammy, thank you so much, girl. We appreciate it. Aw, you just made my day.
So
I'm going to
sweet.
keep this with me.
Air hugs.
I know, right? That for the bookshelf.
Yeah.
We will have that there.
Yes,
for the bookshelf.
definitely.
you.
So listen, y'all, those who are watching, you want to send in some mail for us to read here on the show. Make sure you do like Tammy did and send them in. We would love, love, love to get y'all mail. There goes our QR code that you can scan and send in whatever it is. It can be about anything and everything. All right. So going back to our topic to finish it off, you know, listen, adults. We all know how real the struggle can get. But let me tell you something. You want to go back to school? We're all for it. We support y'all 100% because you know what? It is definitely going to help you. It is going to help your family. And something Fransisca said that just, you know, made me think of something. Let your family be a motivation for you to do exactly that. Go back to school. That way, you can set that example for them. You know, maybe you never finished school. You started something, you didn't finish it, or you're going for more. Let that be a foundation for your loved ones to look and say, hey, you know what? Mommy was able to do it. Daddy was able to do it. So-and-so was able to do it, so we can do it too. We encourage you. We support you. Go right on in. And those of you who actually are taking the steps for it and you want to share it with us here on Breaking the Silence, go ahead and let us know. We would definitely love and appreciate to hear your progress, all right? So that is all the time that we do have for today, but we're gonna go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
Empowered women, empowering conversations. Stay with us on Breaking the Silence as we inspire and uplift each other.
Welcome to Name That Fall. First up, name one of the top 5 causes of falling.
Loose rugs and carpets, Bob.
Excellent answer. Next, how can we avoid trips and falls in the bathroom?
Add rug.
Oh no, it's install grab bars and slip-resistant surfaces. And finally, how can we keep floors and stairs safe?
Remove trip hazards like rugs, use handrails, and keep staircases well lit.
Correct. That's it for now. To play along at home, go to cpsc.gov/olderadults. So long.
My name's Mark. I'm an alcoholic.
Dorothy T., and I am an alcoholic.
I'm an alcoholic. My name is Victoria.
My journey in AA started years ago when I reached the outside limits of my desperation.
And then these people, you know, just gathered around me. That was the fellowship in action.
If I carry any sort of message with my story, it's that, you know, keep coming back and that this thing does work.
If you have a problem with alcohol, contact AA. It works.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
All right, welcome to Getting Real. And in Getting Real, we speak the truth,
yes,
right?
We do.
And it's going to be no different in today, but we are going to be separating fact from fiction, right?
All right.
And there you go. Luigi Mangione's case, separating fact from fiction. So we're going to be diving into the tragic murder of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, and the charges that are against the man for killing him, allegedly Luigi Mangione. So of course this case sparked a lot of rumors. There's all kinds of things that are being said about him, his motive behind the killing, and just all kinds of rumors are being spread. But before we get into all of the rumors, talking about facts, so this incident happened December 4th, 2024, when Brian Thompson was shot dead in mid Midtown Manhattan outside of his hotel. And they are saying that Mangione allegedly planned this for months. In fact, he was tracking Thompson's movements from Maryland all the way down to New York, waiting for the exact moment of when he was going to kill him. So the thing is that at first he was trying to figure out how he was going to go about doing this. This is all allegedly, this is all things that we are reading here in the news that we are reporting on, but we are bringing to you the facts that have been stated in several different media sources, okay? So he was saying that he wanted to do this, but he did not want to hurt innocent civilians, because at first he was thinking about maybe a bomb. Having a bomb explode there in Manhattan during their conference, but he didn't want any people that were innocent bystanders to get hurt. So instead, he decided that he was going to go this route and do, as he did, shoot him there on the streets there in Manhattan.
I mean, you know, that for me, that's not Mangione being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, you can clearly see that's something that he planned. Like, he scouted out, he was watching his movements, you know, the timing that he would leave and return and stuff like that. So for me, honestly, I just think it was something that he actually took the time and planned, just plain and simple.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people are saying. This is not really disputed that it was not planned. They're definitely saying like this was planned. But it's more like the motives behind it. So a lot of the rumors that are being speculated was that it was an inside job. Somebody hired him from inside United Healthcare to take out the CEO.
I heard that.
Other people are speculating that he did this because of frustration because of his family members. It is known that I think his grandmother had Parkinson's. He had a debilitating back problem that was not being able to be resolved. And a lot of things, by doing the research for this topic, I was coming across a lot of people, and I was really surprised because when you come across these kind of crimes, the people are always for the victim. Like, oh my gosh, how could he have done this? How could she have done this? This is a tragedy. Like, we have to go after the killer.
But that wasn't the case here.
No, surprisingly, because there's so many people that are upset with United Healthcare. And this is not, we are not talking, this is all alleged. Like, this is personal people's opinions that I found just kind of interesting about this case. They're all extremely frustrated with the insurance that they're receiving from, and the health that they're receiving from United Health. So a lot of people are kind of for the killer. They're kind of for Mangione and saying, well, you know, maybe he had a reason for it. And I could understand. And they would just kind of go on about like, go him, basically, for doing what he did. And which was shocking to me because you would never hear it otherwise, especially when you knock out somebody from the top.
Exactly. And there's also, some people actually believe that United Healthcare as well was actually behind the murder as well, that there's this big, huge conspiracy that is going on. And this is it's crazy. It's frightening because it's like, you see this happening, and for some reason, when it comes to evidences and all of these things, there's not really anything, well, from what I've also heard and people saying as well, that there really isn't anything, they're struggling actually to kind of, you know, I guess indict him or make him go down for it or whatnot, because there's just so many things, so many rumors that are going on, that yes and no and this and that, and who's really behind it.
Because it's kind of like a joke, a little bit, because they feel like he's playing he's playing with the police, in the sense that he left his backpack at the park in New York, plain sight, like it was just laying there, easy to be able to find it. And inside that backpack is where they found, I believe they found his jacket, and they found the weapon that he used. And the weapon that he used is what they call like a ghost like ghost gun.
Right.
It's made from like a 3D printer. So there's no serial numbers on it. There's no way to track it. But you have to be very intelligent in order to know how to be able to print one of these guns. So they're having a hard time with that. And they found monopoly money in his backpack. And they're like, what in the world? So like, what are you really trying to say? He always, I mean, it's known that he is against the healthcare system. He thinks the healthcare system is rigged. He has nothing good to say about the healthcare system. But his grandmother actually left him, I believe it was $30 million, split between 10 siblings. But there's a clause there that says if you are arrested, if you are charged, if you are convicted of a crime, you will not receive your inheritance. So then that kind of puts into my mind, like, why in the world did she put that clause there?
Yeah.
Like, did she foresee him doing this? Because then all of his friends have all said that he's very cool, he's very chill. They would never imagine him to do something like that. He would do something like that. So they're all very shocked. But he was suffering with a lot of back problems, and his friend said that he disappeared for months before this incident happened. So maybe there was a trigger there at some point that he just had enough with the healthcare system and wanted to do something about it. But I mean, killing the CEO, I'm sorry, but the CEO doesn't make all of the calls. There's so many other people that sit at the heads of these big corporations, and United Healthcare has so many different arms in the medical field. It's not just healthcare, it's not just insurance. You know, it almost in every area of healthcare, United has something. So it's crazy to think that by taking out one person that you're going to solve the problem for United Healthcare or for healthcare in general.
There's so many more rumors, speculations that is going on with it as well. Another rumor that has been circulating is that Mangione was making a political statement. He was making a political statement against the health care, trying to shine light on all the problems with insurance. But then again, as we said, none of that justifies, you know, him actually trying to take, well, not trying, because he did take him out. He did take him out. Nothing justified, because like you said, when it comes to, you know, healthcare, it's not just him. It's not just the CEO. It's so many people behind it. So, I mean, but there's so many rumors that are still going on around it. I even recently heard that, I don't know if it's the lawyer that's representing him is married to someone that's also, handling Diddy's case, because they were in the same facility, locked up in the same facility, and it's just so many things going on. There's more things that are arising every single day. If you follow up with it, you're gonna see so many different, you know, speculations and new things that are arising from it. So.
And with cases like this, conspiracy theories are all for these things. But I mean, if you look at these cases, it's like, why is the monopoly money there? What is this here for? What is this? Like, it breeds conspiracy theories. And it's like, there's always a root behind everything.
There sure is.
And it's not always what you see on the media that is actually the truth.
Exactly.
So we cannot just go out and just start spreading rumors and making speculations for what is actually happening, because at the end of the day, we don't know. But what the police are saying was, like, this was just a personal attack. It had nothing to do with any other deeper motives or reasonings for this attack. It was just out of pure frustration, a personal reason that he had for going after Brian. But there was nothing else deeper than that. So just be careful when it comes to this case, when it comes to any case that hits the news that is big like this, with conspiracy theories. Make sure that you are checking the facts, that you're making sure that what you are being fed is correct. And you always want to double check. You don't want to just go by one source and say, oh, this is my reliable source.
Exactly.
Go to other sources, and even some of the underground sources, because you'll get more information, and there you can make your own opinion on what is happening. But at the end of the day, nobody really knows what is going on but Brian and Mangione. And so we were going to see where this plays out, but we just wanted to come out here and definitely get real with this topic.
We definitely got real with it.
Give you some facts, right?
They get to the bottom of all of this with the truth. The whole
Yes,
truth and nothing but the truth.
All right, Judge Dory. So with all of that, we're going to end this segment, but the show is definitely not over, right? We got a lot more to discuss here on Breaking the Silence.
Breaking the silence. Laughs. Fun. Real women, real talk. Stay tuned.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything isn't everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Life gets busy, and sometimes you miss your favorite show. But for all of you fans of the Breaking the Silence program, we've got you covered. Introducing watch.ulfn.org/Breaking the Silence. It's your go-to destination to catch up on all the Breaking the Silence program episodes that you've missed. With a few simple clicks, relive the deep conversations, the fascinating topics, the laughter, and the thrills that only Breaking the Silence can provide. You can satisfy that itch for more at watch.ulfn.org/Breaking the Silence. Our easy-to-use interface enables you to choose which of your favorite episodes to watch at your convenience. Breaking the Silence, a woman's talk show to inspire and motivate. Get ready for a journey of empowerment, inspiration, and unfiltered conversations. Welcome to Breaking the Silence.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
Breaking the Silence is back, and we did get real with Fransisca. It was really great, very interesting.
Hot topic, right?
Yeah, very, very. But now we are gonna get into our next topic, which is about women. And you know, here on Breaking the Silence, we're always celebrating women, no matter what it is that they're doing, but they're always inspiring, they're always doing great things. So we are celebrating women. Women's voices in film and television. And I love this because a lot of times, well, majority of the times, you just hear about men, their success in film, in TV, but women also. There are many different women who have also made history in television and films as well.
Yeah, talk about women, you know, the power of their storytelling.
Yes.
We women, we give substance, we give emotions, we give details to storytelling. So imagine if that's being incorporated in film, television, and other, you know, media platform, right? So when we have women there representing, you know, different types of women, it makes us feel a bit, you know, not a little bit, but more than happy to be represented.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, it's not just men's perspective, but now we're incorporating a women's perspective, which is great.
You know, women have always been seen as the actress, the beautiful face, you know, the beautiful face in a story, but never like the brains behind the production. And so that's why it's so important for us now to celebrate these women, that women are now behind the cameras.
Yeah.
They're behind the cameras representing women, saying that, you know, women can do a lot more than just be a pretty face on screen, but they can tell stories like nobody else.
Oh yeah, and let's face it, women, when it comes to this, this area, a lot of women are underrepresented and they're not given much credit. But you know what? They bring a lot to the table, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the camera. And this is why we are celebrating so many of them. And we are definitely going to be discussing it here on Breaking the Silence, because seeing women in position of power and influence on screen can have a profound impact, especially on our young girls and women.
Yeah.
You know, and this is something that I always say, most of the times women have to work twice as hard, 3 times, 4 or 5 times as hard to have just a little bit of recognition that men can actually get in the snap of a finger, which I don't think is fair. But these women are setting, you know, they're setting the ground for our young girls coming up to dream big, to aspire, and to do great things, you know, and I think that's very good and important.
Yeah, when we see them behind the cameras, as a friend was saying, you know, we see them now improving, right? We see more and more women being there represented, but like key roles. I'm talking about directors, writers, you know, television writers and all of that. It's still on the under wraps. It's still like on the below 50%. Actually, it's only 20%. For 24%. I think this was in 2023. Key roles such as I've mentioned, directors, writers, in top 250 grossing films. So you could see that, you know, the top grossing films, they're directed by this, you know, male director, written by this male director. But, you know, time and time again, as the world is developing and as a lot of women are, you know, raising awareness and still being there in spite of all this, you know, a lot of competition, because it's a male-dominated industry. But again, we have so many women who's not allowing that to intimidate them, and they're just pushing through, and allowing, you know, young girls to see that and actually inspiring them.
Yeah, like Greta Gerwig. She actually directed Little Women. Little Women was a huge production. It came from the book, and then now it is now hitting the big screen. So she directed that. That was an incredible movie. And also Issa Rae, she did Insecure. So that was also another great film that represented women, sisterhood, and self-discovery, navigating love and loss. So having women there to represent us and to be able to tell our story there on the big screen is so important. As one of you mentioned before, being able to see women in these kind of positions definitely gives the younger generations growing up an idea that they too can have these same positions and be able to achieve the things that unfortunately a lot of the male-dominated fields have nowadays.
Yeah, you know, another movie as well, and I think all of us know this, is from back in 1991, Thelma and Louise. Thelma and Louise, which was written by Callie Corey. She's another one that a lot of people, Thelma and Louise, everyone knows Thelma and Louise. When we went to school, we read, we saw, and it's just great to see that even up until today, you know, that movie is still alive. People, when they hear it, they're like, oh yeah, I've watched it before. Even our little ones, our younger ones as well, they know about Thelma and Louise. So there's so many more that has made this great impact, that throughout the years, you find that there are more women that are stepping up, that are playing these roles and making a big impact, not only for us, but for the younger ones, like I said, that are coming up.
Yeah. And when women do like their storytelling, they also create complex characters, right? That unfortunately men would not be able to. But we like to think, we like to be creative, we like to put new things on the table. So we create all these complex characters, and actually in women's perspective, because sometimes it can be really hard when you are representing, you know, a different kind of personality or something like that. But when women, they've experienced a lot of things, they have unique perspectives on things, and they've done their research, they rack their brain, and then they create these complex characters. And then people who are watching, women specifically, they say, oh wow, this looks like this being represented, you know, this is me, right? This character is me, or this woman who wrote this or who directed this is so much like coming from my background, coming from my culture, knows my story, knows where I'm coming from. So it's really important that we have these women representing us in the industry.
And I think something that has changed since we've had the women behind the cameras and directing films, writing the storylines. The role of women on film has changed drastically. Because back in the day, it was like the damsel in distress. Like, oh my God,
I need my prince.
Come to rescue me.
Knight in shining
I don't
armor.
know what to do.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I got this. I
Yeah.
can handle this. I'm going to solve your problem. You got a problem? I'm the woman that's going to solve your problem.
Yes.
You need this? I got you. So it's like these strong, empowered women. It's not to say like women are better. Of course not. That's not what the film is saying. But the films are saying now that like women too can handle tough situations. They
Right.
can go into the courtrooms. They can be doctors. They can have family. They can do all of these things, wear so many hats, and still look good doing it and hold such strength and such power. That is something that I've really seen a big shift in.
Yeah.
From the olden films to now, the whole role of women portrayed on big screen has changed.
Yes, these women have opened a door of possibilities, of enormous possibilities for those women who and those young girls who are watching these movies, who are being inspired by it, who are being touched by it, who are being moved by it, and they're stepping up. They're stepping up and kind of maybe even shifting their roles into different things. Maybe, for example, it's not something that a young girl had in mind to do, but because there's a story that was written by one of these women, by many women, you know, it touched them, they can relate to it, it impacted them in such a way that they said, no, you know what, I'm gonna shift my career focus, I'm gonna shift whatever it is that I was doing, because this here has made such an impact for me that I want to be able to spread it, to share it, to just let everyone know, women know in general, that they also can be able to be a great part, to play a great part in this shift that has been happening in television and in film. So I love that. That is
and a
amazing.
big shift that we've seen was with Kerry Washington. She
Yes.
was in that. What was the name of the show?
Scandal.
Yes. When she
Scandal.
came on the scene and she played her role on
Yeah.
that series, she knocked it out of the park. And it was like so empowering to see her take hold of that role, because you hadn't at that time, you hadn't seen so many women in those kind of roles, and she really did take charge in the field that she was, the role that she played. And I think that was a very pivotal part in women on TV and women in series that really kind of changed the dynamic.
You know, you just said Kerry Washington, and I don't know if y'all know, but currently on Netflix, there is this movie that she is in. It is called, if I'm not mistaken, listen, but still look it up. It is called 368 or something like that, or 386, something like that. And her role in this movie is just like ridiculous. It is crazy. Let me tell you, watching the movie, I got goosebumps all over, and I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what women are built up. It was really good. Listen, y'all, don't just take my word and my hype for it, but it is very, very good, and that's the impact that they're having on so many people, so many young girls. I mean, that's what we need.
Yeah, because when they see when you see that, it empowers you, right?
Yeah,
like you're
it
a young
does.
girl and you have a talent, or you have a talent in writing, whether that's talent in, you know, directing, or maybe a talent to be in front of the camera, right? But you see all these women doing things, and they're doing it like excellently. So you're there so amped up, so, you know, boosted, and you have motivation to actually achieve your dream.
Yeah, it's called the 6888. That's what it's called, the 6888. It is amazing. And through these movies, they're teaching our young ones as well, like, don't settle for less. Don't be intimidated. Don't let anything stop you. If people want to come and challenge you, go about it, but go about it the right way. You know, stand your ground and all of these great things, which is something that is essential for our young ones coming up nowadays, because a lot of people, it's quick for people to be discouraged. It's quick for people just to take a negative word and run with it. But when you come with that type of positivity, when women are portraying or showing that type of positivity through film and television, I mean, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game, because they are reaching so many people all around the world. I love that. I love that 100%.
Culturally and, you know,
Yes.
tradition, it's incorporating everything. you know, which is great.
And
There's a lot of
another
diversity.
blockbuster from Netflix was Orange is the New Black.
Oh,
Have y'all seen Orange is the New Black?
I started
that was
watching
also
it. I've
written
seen
by
it.
a woman, by Jenny Cohan. She wrote that. She
Okay.
wrote Weeds and Mad About You. Orange is the New Black was an excellent, excellent series that entered on Netflix. That was the storytelling of that series was so on point for what a lot of people go through in prison, behind bars. But it was a great way of telling that story. You know, you of course see some ugly parts in Orange is the New Black, but that's the raw truth of being behind bars, being in those situations. So you can't cover up the raw truth of what actually happens behind bars.
Exactly.
But she did an excellent job with that series.
The way, the way she delivered it. Like, I mean, you on point on that. There's nothing else to add on it. So, I mean, the impact that women are just making in the film industry, it is great. We have Ava DuVernay. She's also made a great impact, and so many others. So listen, there you go. Selma, that movie Selma, Wrinkle in Time, and many, many more other movies. I mean, it is just great and amazing the way that we are just stepping out into these challenging industries and making an impact and making a difference. So ladies, those of y'all who are watching, never forget to make that statement and make it loud and clear, because let me tell you, you are heard, all right? So that's all the time we have for this segment. And we do have the question of the day, which we will come back with, all right? So we are back, and we are back with the question of the day. For those of y'all who missed it in the beginning of the show, here is the question for you one more time. How do you handle tight deadlines? And we do have our wonderful people who are always sending in their responses. Let us go with our first comment. Fiona, I delegate to enough people until it's not my problem.
What if you don't have people?
Listen, give me some tips. Let me know how you do it. Break it down for me, dumb it down for me, because I'm going to definitely use that and apply it. I like Fiona.
Okay, we have another one.
All right.
Judy, I have spreadsheets for days. I'm always ready.
Ooh,
that's it.
Judy.
That's her right here.
Gotta do what you gotta do to get the work done.
Are you Judy in disguise?
We here. I got you, Judy.
Yes. All right. Thank you for that, Judy. And we do have our next comment, which is
from Martha. I stress until the last minute.
Girl, me and you both.
Yeah, Martha. So there are some days, right?
Me and you both. Yeah, I think everyone would.
Yeah. You just feel the pressure once it's in 5 minutes, in 5 days, in 5 hours, and you're like, I don't know how you guys work, but when I'm under pressure, I'm more productive than actually I'm just letting it oh, okay, it's still in 1 week, or it's still in 2 days. I still have a couple of hours. But when you're really in a tight, like you don't have no choice, you have to do it. You just your brain just functions like you gotta do it. You gotta survive. Yeah, for me, that's how I handle.
Okay, what about you? Fransisca, go right ahead, girl.
I mean, I handle it like everybody else. I get stressed out, and then I gotta get the deadline done. I gotta meet the deadline because I can't drop the ball. You got to meet the deadline regardless. And I'm not gonna go and pass it out for other people to handle my stress. I'm gonna handle it, and I'm gonna take care of it, and I'm gonna meet the deadline. I'm gonna be stressed out and snippy while I get it done, but I'm gonna get it done.
Okay, I like that. Listen, when I have to meet a tight deadline, don't talk to me, don't bother me. Listen, I cannot stop for anything. I do stress, yes, I do stress. I won't eat properly because in my head it's like I don't have time to do this because I want to make sure that I'm prepared even for mishaps, for hiccups. If one thing don't work out, then this is definitely gonna work. It's like my brain is just going at it. Even when I'm sleeping, I would wake up and be like, oh snap, this here will be good to have just in case, because I can't have this go wrong. Like it needs to happen. I'm gonna have it ready, whether it's on paper, whether it's on USB, whether it is on DV, whatever it is, I'm gonna make sure I'm covered in all angles. So yes, and I will definitely stress all the way.
Everybody stresses.
I was stressed.
Stressed.
all the
Sour
way.
Patch Kids, door closed.
No, seriously.
Sour Patch Kids. Sorry, I need them when
You
I'm
know-
stressed. I need my Sour Patch.
I'm gonna throw you under the bus. She has Sour Patch
Don't be
in her,
doing
on
that.
her desk, just
In
like
her
a few
snacks
days
again.
ago.
And I tell everybody, you see these Sour Patch on my desk, you already know what time it is. Don't come ask me no questions. Leave me alone. Let me do what I gotta do and eat my Sour Patch Kids. And then once I'm done, I'll be all right.
But I think
until
like
then,
the good stress helps you like move a little faster.
It makes your blood
yeah,
go.
right?
Yeah,
like
it
it makes
does.
you like do your
Yeah.
job
because
or
you be
work.
like kind of like, well, I got a
Yeah.
couple days. I'm thinking
Right.
about it. I'm thinking about
Even
but
if
I
it's a
don't
couple
like
of
that.
days,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
don't
I'm
like
still
that
working.
knowing that I have something to do. Like I just want to get it done. Like I don't want to procrastinate because I don't want to have to wait for the last 5 seconds and then try and figure it out, because when you do, problems will always happen.
Yeah.
Always.
And I'm that type of person too. If I have a deadline, if I can be able to meet the deadline ahead of time, I will do it too. I won't wait till that day or that moment to, you know, present it or say, hey, you know, it's ready. If I can do it ahead of time, I'll definitely.
And then if I can preview the issue ahead of time, I will get it done ahead of time.
This is what happens.
Oh my goodness, we can go on and on about it, y'all. But listen, we're gonna go on a break. We are going to go on a break, and we'll be right back.
Don't change the channel. We will be right back.
Ready to love again, but worried the past will hold you back? Join Breaking the Silence as we guide you through crucial steps to inner healing before stepping into your next relationship. Step 1. Reflect and release. Acknowledge the past to pave the way for a brighter future. Step 2. Rediscover joy within yourself. Your passions are the key to unlocking a fulfilling life. Step 3. Build a support system. Connect with those who uplift you on your journey to healing. Don't face life's challenges alone. Find your tribe, break the silence, and join the conversation.
We know it's not an easy thing to do. So
It's
be
not.
kind to yourself, be merciful to yourself.
Because at the end of the day, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you have to be comfortable with you.
This is where I am. My heart, even though it's wounded, even though I've done something, this is what I need to be happy.
Sometimes, all it takes is a conversation.
You are watching Breaking the Silence.
What a show, y'all. Listen, that was a loaded show. Oh my goodness. From talk about Luigi Mangione to, oh my goodness, our wonderful adults that want to go back to school. Listen, do it. Purpose yourself, do it. You know, I'm also educating myself. You know, I'm not going back to school. I'm doing like, you know, online
Reading,
and apps here
learning.
and there. You
Yeah.
know, anything that I can
keep
do
learning.
You
Yeah,
gotta
keep
keep
learning.
every single day you're learning. You're pushing yourself to do great things. So listen, don't let anything or anyone discourage y'all. Definitely go for it.
Yes.
Go
Don't
for
let
it,
the
go for it, go
self-doubt,
for it.
don't let anything stop you.
Exactly.
Because we can find excuses all day long to not do something.
It is so easy.
But at the end of the day, you just gotta do it.
If there's a will, there's a way.
There you go. And you know what? It's so funny. We could find 1,000,001 excuses as to why we can't do something. But to be honest, you can do it. Whenever you set your mind to something, you can always do it. You know, so hey y'all, more power to y'all. But I also want to remind you guys about the King series, okay? Are you watching the King series?
Yes.
Are you watching the King series?
We
Let
are
me tell you
glued.
something. There
Do
it
not
is.
miss that.
The schedule, the timing is there for you, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you say, listen, I'm going back to school, so I can't catch it on the weekdays, you can catch it on the weekends as well, all right? My husband, I got him hooked on it. He's like, look, see, you done got me hooked on this thing here. So listen, make sure y'all watch it because it is definitely a must watch. And of course, we always have to celebrate our ladies.
Yeah, the women.
Our ladies in
representing
television
us.
and film. You know, more power to y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing. Motivating, inspiring all of these wonderful young ladies that are coming in. But that's all the time we got for today, y'all. We're going to have to say goodbye till next time. See ya.